All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I see a lot of familiar names here. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know me. I know you all. My name is Darian. I'm the Vice President of Man Distinction here at Nichols College. I'm a senior here. And today we have a great person, a great man in general coming in, Harlem 125. I know him as Jamil. We worked with him in the past. He's going to come here and speak on some things that's going on in today's world for this event today that we have called Black Lives Matter, a Path to Change. So, I'm going to keep the introduction short and sweet. Jamil is going to do his thing. And yeah, you guys have fun.
Are we going? There, are we going now?
Yeah, we can go now.
Or you want to wait a little bit? Because people still coming
Let's wait 1 more minute, right?
In a minute. All right.
in. All right. So I think we got the go ahead, right? We got the go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
All right. So, friends and family, welcome. There's a couple things that I want to make sure that we good with before we get going. So tonight, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom screen to make sure everybody's on the same page with Zoom knowledge, at the bottom of it you should see like participants, chat, record, and reactions. First thing I want to share, as far as I know, tonight is there's a Zoom, there's a live on YouTube, and that may be recorded, but this piece right here is not. But that is on YouTube, so know that. The other piece is right next to the record. If you have that, you probably don't because you're not a co-host or host, but you see something called reactions. If you hit the reactions, you're able to put up a hand clap like that, or you're able to put up a thumbs up like that. Make sure everybody's on the same page with Zoom knowledge. At the bottom of it, you should see like participants, chat, record, and reactions. First thing I want to share, as far as I know, tonight is there's a Zoom, there's a live on YouTube going. Do you hear that? Not, but that is on YouTube, so know that. The other piece is right next to record. Does everybody hear the echo? Like there's a weird.
Everyone make sure to please got their mics off and everything. That's probably what's causing the issue.
But what I was hearing was like after I was done speaking, like there was more coming. So I don't know if I don't hear it now. So all right. But what I wanted to make sure is that everyone was able to use reaction buttons. All 102 of us and counting right now. So if you can, if you can do that, friends and family, let me know that you're here by putting up either the hand clap or the thumbs up. One of the two, the hand clap or the thumbs up. One of the two. Put those up. We got 6 pages. I'm looking at all 6 pages of people. A love right there. There's all that love there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just making sure folks can do that. We're going to use that this evening. And at some point, there will also be an opportunity for folks to participate. And so in order to do that, we're going to use the raise your hand function. If folks aren't familiar with that, if you hit the participants icon at the bottom, you'll automatically appear to the right of the screen. You'll see a white column appear with the names of everybody there. On that, at the bottom of that white column, you should see a option to raise your hand. What I want you to do is raise your hand if you see that. Raise your hand, thumbs up or something like that. Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand if you see that. Good, 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 good. This is good. Now, what you should know is that the raise your hand function, it automatically puts us in numerical order. So it's not a matter of me randomly choosing someone, anything like that. What it is just, it does it automatically. So we'll use that this evening. And with that, friends and family, we're going to jump into a ride. This evening, we'll go a couple of different places, and the journey will be just that. Hopefully, by the time it's over, you've been exposed to something that you can appreciate and that you can actually ponder in terms of something being thoughtful and provocative in a helpful way. By the time this is done, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions and engage each other a little bit as well. Before we're over, I'll probably leave my contact information with folks if you want copies of anything that I shared tonight, or if you want to continue dialogue with anything that I present this evening. That good with people? Put thumbs up or hands clap if you're good with that. That's all right with people? That's good with folks? That's good with folks? All right. The other thing is, the journey that we're taking will take us into a couple of different places this evening. So if we go to a place and it's a little rough for you, for some reason you feel like you got to exit the video screen and maybe put just your name up there or black the screen out and take a moment away, it's okay. And you're welcome to come right on back in, all right? Because we're talking about life and reality, and there's some things that sit okay with us and we can deal with, some things that we may not be in the space for. We're sure we're going to even get into this evening. But I want to create space for that to exist. The other pieces this evening, I would like to create a brave space, because a safe space is a matter of relativity in terms of who you are, because everybody won't feel safe in every given space just because we say it's a safe space. But a brave space hopefully allows folks to contribute and feel that they'll be heard and listened to and absorbed as hopefully as intended in the space. So I want to create that as best possible in our time together too. Everybody good with that? Thumbs up on that, and the hand claps and things like that. All right. And with that, I want to take a moment to share that throughout the evening, I'll refer to us all as friends and family. And the reason why I do that is because I personally feel that when you say ladies and gentlemen, you leave people out. And I don't want to leave people out. If you could get with that vibe, hands up, thumbs up, hand claps. You can get with that vibe if you with that. If you can get with that, again, friends and family. I will not use ladies and gentlemen. I use scholars as well. I may use scholar kings and queens, and I feel personally that we each have a king and a queen inside of us. We just choose when either shows up. So with that, let's jump into a thing and acknowledge a couple of things that will be helpful for this evening. Friends and family, we have to acknowledge the indigenous family that came before us, acknowledge our Black ancestors, acknowledge the indigenous folks that are the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, acknowledge exhaustion and racial battle fatigue, acknowledge white silence, recognize the silencing, we acknowledge the absence, we acknowledge the strength and genius that is the Black woman, as the son of a single Black woman that raised this Black man, a byproduct of Harlem, New York City, where COVID-19 took my grandmother. I am a Black man and call into this space recognition of Black men. We recognize all Black people, all Black genders, Black sexuality, and Black life. We acknowledge Black love. We acknowledge the Academy family. We acknowledge the human family. We acknowledge imperfection. We acknowledge the cities where we come from. We acknowledge the history of injustice against Black people by the justice system, police, in the world, and here, wherever here is for you, where you're there. We recognize the murders, racial terrorism, and death of Black people. We recognize the history of Black voice being ignored. We recognize the double standard. We recognize Black tears and the run out of tears. We recognize the relationship between privilege and oppression. We acknowledge the discomfort, fear, pain, trauma, suffering, survival, and resilience. I believe people know right from wrong. And what we have seen in the past was wrong. The weaponizing of federal forces to violently move peaceful protesters is wrong, regardless of your political ideology. That is wrong. It's eerily similar to how Amy Cooper weaponized her privilege to threaten and endanger the life of Christian Cooper. If you know who I'm talking about when I talk about that situation, put a thumbs up. Amy Cooper and Christian Cooper, bird watcher, Central Park. Amy Cooper, white woman, decides she's going to say that the black male who's bird watching was threatening her and attacking her. He says he's going to record it. She says, so what that you're recording it? I'm still going to say that you're trying to attack me. We recognize Breonna Taylor, we say her name, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and the countless others before and after them that did and did not receive attention from media and national news outlets. We acknowledge them. We say Black Lives Matter in this space so that it is heard. Weekly, we endure newly reported racial injustices. Countless go unreported as well. We know that this pandemic, the medical pandemic, for there are multiple pandemics occurring at the same time. But the medical pandemic, we know that this disproportionately impacts Black, brown, and poor people. We understand that nightly on the news, we could flip channels and see someone that looks like me being murdered. The entire narrative of that murder shown from beginning to end. That means a child could be flipping channels, land upon the murder of someone that looks like myself and many others on the screen, die, be moved in some kind of way, flip channels, and run into it again, only to become either sensationalized, potentially, or desensitized, potentially. Either is not good. We should not be able to go onto YouTube, Google Black Death, and see countless videos of it. That does not happen with any other group of people. There are songs that get words edited out. There's language that isn't allowed to get shown on the nightly news, on YouTube, on all our social media, but the death of Black and brown folks is allowed to persist without regulation. You can still see the deaths of Oscar Grant, Philando Castile, all of Philando Castile, you can see it. Think about that. That should not be. How often does this conversation end up on an agenda in our classrooms, at the places where we eat, in our friendships, partnerships, and collegial relationships? Not nearly enough. I acknowledge the peaceful protest and understand the accompanying why of the riot that often accompanies it. The why of the riot matters. We have a responsibility to undo injustice. We have a responsibility to undo injustice. Tonight, I hope that you feel that responsibility. I hope before tonight you felt that responsibility. I hope that by the time we're done, you're further inspired to address that with a great fervor for a responsibility to undo injustice. Because we need us right now, all in, together. That includes you. If you're on the screen, that includes you. Your love and your light. We need to work towards creating anti-racism at Nichols, in Massachusetts, around the globe. In life, we need that. And I need y'all to do that now, if you haven't done so before now, and after now. We need the sustainability of it forever. Nobody wants just a moment. We want a complete movement with love, inclusion, and trust as a piece of that. Friends and family, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a minute, unmute yourselves for a second, take a breath. Unmute yourselves for a second and take a breath. All right, take a breath, take a breath. All right, now, mute yourselves back. Let's jump into it. Black light, the Nestle of purple, views beautiful, slow motion, suffocating, white light, halo blinking, assault and, well, here's a story. Here's a quick story about this. This poem that I'm reading right now is brand new. It was written for tonight. It is less than, well, it's 7:16 now. It's less than 20 minutes old, well, less than 30 minutes old. It's written for tonight with this in mind, and it's called Black Light. The Nestle of purple, bruised beautiful, slow motion, suffocating white light, halo blinking, assault and battery. In the darkness of video, Vaseline sweat, greasy everything, shadowless, blue curfews, confused. They don't love you. They don't love themselves. They don't love us. No name necessary, no title necessary. It is not necessary because you know. Black light, colored Clorox, we make the whites bright, 1 comma from grammar, the wop of wattage, glisten, side piece of justice, the devil texts we more than God, but God never leaves we. Offering of the angels, black people are the gates of heaven, are the gates of heaven. Come into the light. Be not afraid of your greatness. Bow to each other. It's like God recognizing God. She finally believes in herself. She sees herself in herself like 7 bodies of water reflecting 7 shades of blackness. That is black light, like party, like skin, like coming to this light, this black light, sweat, black sweat pours, generations, you know you, black, right? Black light, like black eyes, black in, like opposite of black out in, black light, black out is impossible, black out is impossible, black out is impossible. Opportunities for blacks, more like black ops. More black light like Moors are black. Check history, black dynamite. Come in this black box and birth black life. Black life is black light. Welcome to Black Light. I need you all to do me a favor. We are not going to allow this pixelated image of all of us, images of all of us, stop us from communing together. We're not going to allow it to have us be inhuman to each other. We will transcend this screen. This in no way is in comparison to when we share space in person together. But we will vibe together this evening. I hope we've already begun to vibe already. As we continue this journey, allow yourself to be in this space together. This space is about being lit. And when we are lit, we have love, inclusion, and trust. And I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. I promise we will be done by midnight tonight, family. I'm just joking with y'all. I'm just joking. I know I got a time limit. I know, Praj, I got a time limit. I got it. Somebody might have to remind me. But what I want you to do right now, friends and family, is get a paper and a pen or pencil, a marker, a crayon, or your device, something that you can place your thoughts on. That's what I would like for you to do. All 108 of us. All 108 of us. What I'm going to do is show you something on the screen. I'm going to do a screen share and show something. And what I would like for you to do is at the end of that, take some time to write what your reactions are, not only to what you see, what you're about to see, but everything up into and including what you'll see. We started by acknowledgement of so much. Then we took it to defining what black light is all about. And now I'm gonna take us to another place, and I want you to absorb that and then write. All I ask you to do is write the entire length of time that I will share with you, which would probably be about 3 or 4 minutes. But for the time being, I want you to lock in on this. When you write, I just want to share this. When you write, it does not have to be in English. It can be whatever language you choose, whatever language is comfortable for you. There's a freedom that comes with writing that I want you to experience. When I do writing workshops, I oftentimes say, have people repeat, words are powerful, writing's how I exercise my freedom, and speaking delivers me. Again, that's words are powerful, writing's how I exercise my freedom, and speaking delivers me. I want you to experience that freedom and write as you will. There's freedom of speech, but recognize that freedom of speech ain't free for everyone. And I ask that we respect the space and the people in our space. So you say what you will if you have opportunity to share, but know that there may be repercussions for what you say based on our community. All right, here we go. Sorry for the interruption. Take notes as you go along too.
Imagine going to church and getting shot. Imagine pulling out your wallet and getting shot. Imagine using your cell phone and getting shot. Imagine jogging and getting shot. Imagine falling asleep in your car and getting shot. Imagine having a broken taillight and getting shot. Imagine your child in the back seat when you get shot. Imagine being broadcast live on Facebook Live, bleeding out when you get shot. Imagine fitting a description and getting shot. Imagine being handcuffed on the ground of a train stopping, getting shot. Imagine waiting for a friend in a coffee shop and called cops, put you out. Imagine being asked for trust you ain't got. Imagine college, graduating, celebrating, and getting shoved off the stage with that degree you just got. Imagine getting choked out for selling cigarettes until your nose loses snot. I mean, your snot box rock like you've been shot for being alive on a day that's hot. Imagine praying every day not to get shot. Imagine every blue uniform you see gives you flashbacks of getting shot. Are you tired of this? getting shot at. Imagine they tell your family you've been shot because they forgot to check the plot, forgot to apologize for adding you onto the family plot, forgot to locate a non-lethal spot to place the shot. Shots fired. Are you not entertained? Imagine being fired as a slave and then getting shot. Your love, getting shot, running for freedom and getting shot, becoming desensitized to getting shot, expecting to get shot, not being afraid of getting shot, being nonviolent, you're prepared to get shot, taking a shot at life and getting shot, taking a shot at shooting back and getting shot, then your family members get shot. Are there guns in heaven? Can you get shot in heaven? Can you imagine a place where you can go and not get shot? I cannot.
Go for it. 3 minutes.
What is that?
Mine. Why?
It's just that it's...
Lavender.
Sorry, YouTube. Be unapologetic, authentic, honest. Got about 2 minutes. Keep writing, if you will. 1 minute left, y'all. 1 minute. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. All right, y'all. So, all right. So, what I want to do is take a moment. Let's commune a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. Not necessarily share what you have yet, but I'm interested in what it felt like for a couple of people to write based on what we've been through for the last couple minutes. So if you could, use the raise your hand function that we were talking about on the side, and then we'll call on people to share. What you have to do is unmute yourself when you speak, and then return to mute yourself when you're done. So I would like to ask folks to just talk about what did it feel like to write about what you just experienced for the last 20 minutes. Anyone. Michael. If I mispronounce your name, please correct it. I know I'm showing your Harlym 125 and he series. Those are my pronouns. And if you want to share your pronouns, it's appreciated as well. You don't have to, but it's appreciated. But with a name like Jamil, a lot of times people destroy my name. So if I mispronounce your name, please correct me. I ask you, I beg you to correct me so that I get it right. Michael, I don't know how many Michaels in the room, so I'll say Michael Nichols. Is that correct?
It's Nagel. I get the same thing though. Everybody botches my last name, and so I say that in my classes too. You know, people get my last name wrong. I want to make sure I get everybody's name right. He, him, his, and you know, in writing about, I just wrote a few things down as I was listening to and watching the video. But one of the things that came out was uncomfortable. It was, you could feel the power, the uncomfortability of the situation of what was being talked about here, and so that certainly came through the screen, in addition to a lot of other emotions and feelings that came through in this. There's anger, there was fear, violence, attempts to outreach, communication. You feel tired, unfairness, family, community, all those kinds of things were the things that jumped out at me, and the way I felt I could feel coming through from that video. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Anybody else? Next. What did it feel like to write about what you experienced? I've seen a lot of folks writing. Next, anyone use the raise your hand function? Okay.
Kalpana.
Kalpana. Okay.
Yeah. So, just watching the video, just getting sought for being a human, living your life, I felt this is injustice, right? I wanted to cry out loud, and I'm thinking what I can do to change this, right? How can I be part of this? Because I'm part of the system, I was thinking what I can do more to change this injustice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zomel, for sharing.
No, thank you. There's so much that can be done. Thank you. Other folks, raise your hand. I'm looking. Okay. Isabella Nerni. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Isabella.
Hello. I felt very angry to the point where I wanted to start crying. You know, that feeling you get really, really angry. So I'm going to agree with both my two professors that just spoke, because when you're watching videos like this, or hearing things or listening to about them on the news, you just get so angry to the point where you don't even know how to react, and it's really frustrating. So when I was writing this down, I almost wanted to start crying.
Would you mind sharing what you wrote? You don't have to. I'm just asking. You can say no, and it's okay.
I'll share one point that got me really angry. I wrote, everyone deserves a chance to become better people, no matter what their pasts are or who or where they came from. And I think it's really unfair and just not right for people to just not get equal chances, no matter the previous experiences they've been through.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. It's something that we'll talk again. I'll get at that with the lit piece. Shannon, St. Lawrence, is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, we got an echo, Shannon. Try it again.
Sorry. Izzy's sitting next to me. So I don't know, embarrassed isn't the right word, but I am the captain of the women's basketball team here, and just listening to him talk, I feel like personally I'm not doing enough as a leader of a group of people about this issue. So I'm not sure if embarrassed is the right word, but I just feel like I'm not doing enough, and I could feel the emotion coming through him. And I mean, I was writing, what can I do to get this group of people together to make a difference?
All right. You and Kapana can get together. You're both trying to figure out what to do. There's some things that can happen. Thank you, too, for sharing. Thank you for sharing your leadership and who you are. We appreciate that. Other folks, friends and family, who else? Who else? Use that, remember, on the right side of the screen. Okay, all I see is Maya. I think it's Maya or Maya. Maya?
Maya, you got it right the first time.
All right, Maya, thank you.
When watching the video, I thought it was like really sad and really eye-opening, because he was describing everyday life, going for a run, going shopping, just like going, oh, okay, never mind. Going for a run, going shopping, like going out and getting shot. And I feel like, especially in the US, which like you hear US #1, that you still have to worry about like living your life and getting shot like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I found that part like very disturbing and really sad, because I don't think anyone should like think, oh my gosh, I'm going to go for a run. Wait, I might get shot, which was like the worst part of it.
It is unimaginable that we're in this space in 2020, going into 2021, but it is where we are. Who would have thought that 2 years ago the state of New York would have to pass a law forbidding discrimination based on hair? That had to be passed as a law. A law had to be passed for that. That in the same breath, in the same time period, women of color in high school had to uplift their voices to share, you will not discriminate me based on how my hair is. In a framework where you're not allowed to emote. Women of color can't emote because you see it as the angry black woman and all the negative connotation that goes with just simply reacting. Particularly black women. And then the same goes for men. If I'm angry, I'm insane, I'm mad. Whereas my white colleagues are upset about something. Who knew that that would be necessary? Who knew it would be necessary to be able to tell a tale? And I shared this a couple years ago when I was with MOD in a conversation, talking about a young biracial boy, 8 years old, playing with 4 young white teens in Claremont, New Hampshire. They have a rope. Someone throws the N-word. at Quincy, and I say his name because it's out there already, and we've had contact with Quincy. The rope they have ends up around his neck. The table he's on gets kicked. He's hung. Friends and family, I'm not making this up for dramatic effect. It's real. If you Google Quincy in Claremont, New Hampshire, one of the first things you see is a picture of his neck. It's disgusting. And no matter what part of history you study, when it comes to lynchings and hangings, rarely do you hear the story of someone who survives. Quincy somehow, as we get to know, swings 3 times and frees himself. His sister watches this. So he's a now 11 going on 12-year-old boy who survived a hanging. How does he move on? How does he interpret the world? How does he go to school? Pandemic or not, medical pandemic or not, the racial pandemic's been ongoing. The financial pandemic is ongoing. How does he get that? How does he get that? What I call a Cecil D. Cecil D is SE plus SL equals D. That's self-esteem plus self-love equals dignity. Because if you have your dignity intact, there's very little that can be formed against you to break you down. But when you survive the hanging, your sense of litness, love, inclusion, and trust is very minimal. So how do we get that now 11 going to 12-year-old boy to feel a sense of purpose in the world? Amidst seeing, since him surviving that, the murders of people who look like him, countless. How does he live? Does he feel fortunate to still be alive? Does he? Does he have a right to be fearful? To be disturbed, bothered, angry? Of course. But it takes us connecting with him so that he can feel something different. And I don't say that rhetorically. I shared with you the same thing I shared the last time. When I learned about that, I reached out to people in my network to reach out to him and his family. And we also tried to reach out for the 4 white teens, but they were so protected, it was not possible. Because there's something for them to get out of this as well. For them to have done what they've done and run says a lot. I don't typically get political, but it says something about our current political platform and that people don't acknowledge wrongness, regardless of your politics. However you identify, right and wrong should be pretty clear. Doesn't always seem that way. So I've spoken for a little bit longer than I wanted to, but you had shared something that made me want to share a little bit. So other folks, want to share? Anybody else? Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? You can use the raise your hand function. I'll go through all 6 screens. There may be someone raising their hand and I just, oh, okay, there we go. There was a hand right there. Sorry. Is it Jared Sweeney?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, go for it, Jared.
I just want to point out that, what we're doing in here in the Zoom chat, we are all role models for the next generation. And, what we do, whether it's on the field, off the field, in the classroom, or just on the street, what we do has an impact on going forward and, how we can, make a change.
Indeed. Thank you, Jared. Indeed, we are in this space. We can continue building. Most definitely. Other folks, I'm looking for hands either on the right side or raise your hand on the screen. Anybody else? Anyone else? Sophia Dooley?
Yes, you got it right.
Thank you.
I think in the video that you showed us, the quote that you said that stood out to me the most and like made me angry and really sad was, "Are there guns in heaven?" And this relates back to like everybody dying at the hands of like people who think it's their responsibility to um take over for the law, or police officers. It's either one really. But sorry, I lost you for a second. And it just makes me mad that people are so quick to like judge people based on why they got shot, because like they're making excuses that like George Floyd was an awful person and this, that, and the other, but like nobody should get shot like either way. That's not the protocol of the police officers. So that's what I think.
Thank you, Sophia. Indeed. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else looking for hands? All I see is, well, there's two. There's Jay Carroll and then there's Zachary Nussbaum. So I think I saw Jay Carroll 31 go first, and then we'll get to you next, Zachary. Am I saying, Jay, is that correct? Am I saying it properly?
Yeah. My name is John Carroll. That's my username for Zoom. Thank you. Very powerful video. It seemed like the speech was from a personal place, which, me as a white person, I can't relate to those scenarios or those stresses in my everyday life. And it definitely makes me think twice about things that I get worked up about during the day. It makes me grateful that, I don't have to think about those things, and it makes me feel awful that other people do. And I'm trying the best I can to just keep learning and listening and be the best person I could possibly be. And if I come off sometimes the wrong way, I'm trying to be better about that and not get offended. So I thought it was a very powerful video. And again, definitely from a personal place for me, just really can't relate and equate the emotions of it, but definitely very powerful.
Thank you. Zachary? Is that correct?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
The thing that stood out to me the most was just in general, the fact that we can go out and do the same things and be judged totally differently just based on the pigment of our skin. That makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. But the thing that was so powerful to me was, what I liked was you used black and white. To me, when I see black and white, that should be, an old thing, an old problem, let's say. And then turning it to color at the end, it shows that, holy shit, that's still a problem. And that shouldn't be. We like to say that we're way more civilized now than we were 100 years ago. What do we have to show for it,
It's us. We can put the energy to making it that way. You all have made contributions to the improvement of humanity. We just have more work to do. So much more work to do. I'm the poet's monkey that became president right after the reformed Nazi became pope, architect of rock and roll, jungle jazz music, Negro spiritual, soul music, gospel drum talk, and lift every voice. Trim of the sunset, highlight of midnight. I'm deep chocolate and Hennessy on fire. Wade in the water, beautiful and say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Egyptian genius, tennis like Venus, tennis like bracelet, ash like tennis. They love me in Venice. I'm black. I'm a woman sleeping on her chin because she just got her hair did. I'm the curiosity in your fingers wanting to touch my hair, but fear of my attitude preventing you from going there. I'm braids, fades, waves, doobies, dreads, bald, and afros. My hair exercises. This is Jeopardy. I'll take Why's Your Hair So Strong for 300, Alex. I'm black. Drink Miles Davis into a purple crayon. That's how black I am. Slavery couldn't break me. Even though the colonists, Spaniards, and masters tried to rape me, separate me from my children, humiliate me, hang me, and sell me as property, I still managed to save my black family. I taught Betsy Ross how to sew. I'm the blood stain on the right hand of the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm the missing 2 fists from the definition of 3 fists. Octoroon of your quadrant, tell me you love me. I'm black, I make love like the homeless. Beautiful back alley backshots, mirrors kiss each other on the black hand side, reflecting dark beauty. Catch me in the context of the middle passage. I'm a 2020 slave narrative. Black bowling ball outside my lane. Hurricane, sugarcane, and candy cane. Sweet tooth crutch and third leg of history. Without me, you fall to your future. I'm unconscious color, Coke, Pepsi, the first Crayola, chlorophyll for the cosmos. There is no nighttime. The sun turns white after 12 hours of work so that the sky can resemble me. God looks like me. I'm black. I made it possible to moonwalk on earth. Matador, or the Paso Doble, Harlem Shake, Stank Leg, Twist, Jitterbug, Juke, Breakdance, Electric Slide, Two-Step, Running Man, Cabaret, Feel I Get Light, Whip, and Nay, I dance. I was twerking before they were working on harpsichord strings. Tickling the fingertips of angels. Melody rubs my back. The spine of every continent is my genius. This sphere you call a planet is in the palm of my boombox. I'm an African eagle, born in America, but it doesn't make me an American eagle. American eagle is a clothing line, not my roots. Think black. There was nothing before black. In fact, before black, there was more black. And just when you happen to start thinking that you're not black, that's when you found out that you are black. So when you challenge my integrity, question my loyalty, put me in the face of your authority, lose your sobriety, try to keep outside of my secret society and ask me why you're so blind to me, I reply to thee in so many ways you simply fail to see, especially in our human family, that we are all unapologetically black, y'all. Black. 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 Trust that. The most ancient historical figure known to us is a black woman named Eve. Ergo, life from her. Black. Now we know not this is not giving you permission to go start saying shit you shouldn't be saying and stuff like that. Proper language, but you know that this skin color, complexion impacts how life impacts others. What we're trying to do is deconstruct a construct that we, when I say we, I mean humans, created. Race is a human construct, which means we can reconstruct, deconstruct that which we've built to build better. And this is what this is about. Folks want to know what they can do. I say love us the way you love what you love. Now, the reason why I say that is if somebody, and you think of somebody that you love, right? Imagine them hurting and in pain. You wouldn't take 3 seconds to figure out what you have to do to help them. You help them. And if you don't know what to do, you're constantly trying to figure out, how do we help them? How do we do that? You force yourself to figure out, how can I help you? So that love piece is that. The love, start with love with people, with each other. The I is inclusion. I'm talking about the lit thing, love, inclusion. The inclusion is the thing that keeps us together. Raise your hand, put it on the screen if you've ever been left out of something you wanted to be a part of. If you've ever been left out of something you wanted to be a part of. Now, leave your hand up if it felt good. It doesn't feel good. It might have felt good if you figured out what you wanted to be a part of was crap. But if it was something you wanted to be a part of that was all love and that was dope, you still feel that pain, probably. Words are very powerful. Oftentimes they injure us more than physical, but both hurt. And then the T is the trust. The trust is there as a byproduct of love and inclusion being present. Because then you feel like you can do things for the greater good. At the end of the day, I'm talking about love, inclusion, and trust, and us being lit for each other and with each other. What I'm talking about is seeing the me in the we. See the me in the we. If you look at the pandemic from the eyes, the medical pandemic, let's talk about that. It doesn't impact people as much till they see themselves in the death. I'll use myself as an example. The pandemic was always horrible in my eyes. It became more horrific when my grandmother died from it. It became even more real. That's what I mean. See the me and the we. For all that. See that connection. One of the most powerful things you can use is your voice. That is one of the most powerful things you can use. One of the most dangerous sounds on earth is shh. Every time you hear it, there is secrecy, danger, or the silencing of someone. Shh, be quiet. Shh, don't tell. The giver of the sound oftentimes is hiding something. Shh, shut the door. Shh, don't make another sound. I don't ever recall hearing it and feeling relieved. Like, I've never heard, shh, women, you will begin to get treated equally starting now. Or, shh, you may wear your hair here however you wish. Or, shh, breathe. That gun ain't pointed at you. It's pointing at that slavery behind you. Or, shh, those pipelines will go there. Those graves are sacred. Or, shh, there is no box to check. We're all human. Shh, could be so maddening. I remember hearing, shh, put your hands up, turn around and place them on the hood of the car. I remember hearing the teacher say, shh, Jamil, stop acting like that. But feeling like she said, shh, Jamil, stop acting so black. Remember the first time you heard, shh? Remember the first time you said, shh? You ever shushed a dead body? You ever knew too much that people ask you to shh? Knowledge, y'all, knowledge can be so loud. They shh you in the library. You ever shushed a soul? You ever been silenced, interrupted, made quiet, shh, made not important, shh, made what you say not to matter, shh, sonically hung, shh. The hate, yo, the hate is so loud. The hate is so loud that we voluntarily shh all the love. We shush it. And then when we do that, we shush love. We shush life. We shush the light and become silent, obedient, still. Remember your voice. Your voice is so important. Your voice is your voice that could have saved that wrestler in New Jersey from having to cut his dreads in order to wrestle. No one used their voice to tell the referee, the coach, the teammates, the opposing team, the opposing teammates, the friends and family that were there to see the match, to stop it. No one used their voice. No one used their voice to tell Burberry not to make that turtleneck, not the hoodie with the noose. No one told Gucci not to make the blackface turtleneck. Your voice. There's a time when you can use your voice to say, no, that's not right. Something that you can say is, excuse me? Usually when you say excuse me, it's to let someone know that either you're trying to get by or to call attention to something. Typically it's non-confrontational. So you can, if you hear something that's questionable or that you think is deserving of attention, you can say, excuse me, and then keep it moving. That's something you can do. It's just an example. I want to leave you with an example of how you can involve yourself. Or if not, you can always connect with, there's 100, there was 108, there was 112, now we're 110 people that have been in the same experience that can help each other out in a situation. Nichols is now 110, I would get, they say 112 because I went beyond time, 112 deep, stronger in terms of having this conversation about anti-racism, dismantling systemic racism, and being more human. This is about seeing people as human beings, fam. Human beings Who knew that last year a 6-year-old girl, first grader, gets arrested? The police actually come to the school, put the little girl in handcuffs and put her in the car. You hear the little girl screaming, "I don't want to get in the police car." A little brown girl, who knew that would happen? Why was she put to this? She was also mugshotted, 6 years old, because she had a tantrum. Because she had a tantrum. How many 6-year-olds you know don't have one, at least one? What happened to the parents? What happened to so many other things? Again, where did she get the Cecil D from? That happens, and then there's all of this murder of people that look like her. Y'all, we got work to do. We're not done. We got work to do. And there's different ways of doing it. I appreciate the number of people who took their first steps into a march or a rally within the last year. I know so many people took that first step, and we need every last one of you, every last one of us. I ask that you not stop. One of the most offensive things that I encounter in life is people deciding that race is not going to be important for them today. Because I know so many of us don't have that luxury of saying, I'm not going to deal with race today. Because when I see that happen, it makes me feel like I'm not important to you. And I don't think that that's what people mean. I don't think people mean that. But that's what it communicates, especially now with all of this that's happening. There's no point in time where I'm not thinking about the terrorism that's happening to people that look like myself. And when I say black, I'm talking about the diaspora. There's so many of us because society tells you who you are. Shouldn't be that way, but they will tell you, society will look at you and say, this is what you are. This is how we come to use words like white presenting, black presenting. They're trying to, again, define who we are. We're very intersectional. Hopefully folks are familiar with intersectionality. Very. Oh, I'm going to stop. Praj, you haven't given me the look, but fam, I was supposed to stop at like 7:45 at the least, and I'm going way over and people still here. So
keep preaching, baby. We listening to you, baby. You know
you good, man. Baby. You good, man. Keep going, man.
Do your thing, baby. Keep going.
Y'all better listen to him.
This is what I'll do. This is what I want because it's important for me to respect people's time, right? So I'll ask for. I can wrap this up, I think, in like 7-8 minutes tops. If you give me that, I'm saying we're done by 8:10. What I would like for you to do is, people know I got a thing for this next thing. If you want to take out your cell phone, if you're using your cell phone right now, you're going to have to use it differently for a moment and then come back to the screen. So what I want you to do is take your cell phone out for a moment. Take it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song. And when I play the song, what I want you to do is take 3 selfies. Take 3 selfies of yourself, and some of you have other people with you, so you can do the group selfie if you want to. I imagine folks are safe and are safe. And what I want you to do is then come back after you do that. But just a simple instruction, just take 3 selfies, and I'll tell you what to do in a second. Go for it. Take 3 selfies, man. Go for it. You got maybe 30 seconds. 3 selfies, then come back. You might have to turn off your screen and come back. 3 of them. 30 seconds, fam. Go for it. 3 selfies. 3 of them. 3 of them, if you would.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Jamil. That's that. I'm doing it. I don't know about that one, Jamil.
7 seconds. All right. So now, I'm surprised that y'all even knew that song. So that song is older than most of the people on the screen. So here we go. choose one of those selfies that you like. One of them that represents you in the best light that you can have right now. And what I would like for you to do is to send it right now to the number that's in the chat. I put a number in the chat. And so that number in the chat is my phone. So that you know what's going to happen with those selfies. I'm going to collect them, put them in a file, send them to Praz. Then Praz will probably create a collage to immortalize this moment. I will delete the photos. And then you also now will have my phone number in the event that you want to continue a conversation about anything that started this evening, want to ask for a copy of anything you heard from me this evening, or want to share, you know what, I don't know, disappointment or something like that. I'm not averse to that. When I speak with people, I always want the honest response to it. So I just want to put that out there. So just this always happens. Don't call me. Just send a selfie. Somebody did it by mistake. Just send a selfie, all right? The best one of the three. And with that, friends and family, I will leave you with the following. There was so much more that I wanted to share, and maybe we'll have an opportunity to do a part 2 at some point. But know that you all created this space so that this conversation could take place is appreciated. That you all created this space where many of you took an opportunity to be brave and share your feelings, share your narrative, and be vulnerable is appreciated. Thank you all for making that happen. I know that MOD had something to do with this. Appreciate the MOD fam. I learned about.
We appreciate you,
man. We appreciate you,
yes,
man.
Sir. You know how we rocking.
I'm expecting big things from some of the scholar athletes on the page. I know that the women's basketball team is represented. So, shit, I don't know if we could be helpful. Let's connect. You have my number. I'm a resource to you. I appreciate the faculty and the staff, administrative, or however that are present, because that doesn't always happen, Nichols fam. That folks were here at this time for this conversation is to be appreciated. That does not happen all the time. These are folks that care. And I wanted to not only just see what's going on, but wanted to be involved with you all as well. So we appreciate you. We appreciate the time that you took. We appreciate the sacrifice that you made in your day. After doing everything you could for the Nichols fam, you took some more time. We appreciate that. All right, and so I'll share this, and then we can spend time communing another time, but you all can get right at it. Hey there, black child. Hey there, brown child. Hey there, young child swinging from the tree. Instead of whips and chains, now they just shoot me. See you next time with bulletproof skin. They figured out a new way to kill us again. Hands up, don't shoot is what we say. I can't breathe, don't kill me that way. My spirit don't die. God loves me. Tell the pearls of the world and newborn babies. Ferguson, Missouri is an epidemic, not a situation. If it's not an epidemic to you, that means it's not affecting you yet. I bet if a group killed countless people group like you, it would be an epidemic to you. But hold up, stop and frisk this. Around the age when I was old enough to go outside and play by myself, my mother said, boy, when you get stopped by the police, if you get stopped by the police, because they do that sometimes, don't do anything that might get you killed or locked up. In fact, stay in this neighborhood, on this block, in front of this building, so that you're close to home, baby. And that's exactly where these boys are murdered, in their neighborhoods, on their blocks, in front of their buildings, and close to home. This is poverty of a soul living in a wealth of pain. How do you explain ripping the life out of an unarmed body? And I don't know what to say. So I begin to act like my name is Michael, Eric, or Oscar, and I live in Ferguson, Brooklyn, and Oakland, living like them black boys do, dying like them black boys do. And they say 2-5, please don't overreact, because black boys aren't under attack. And that's mostly said by those who are not black. And I feel like I'm under attack. See, it's hard being human when you started out as property. It's hard being human when you're the anomaly. It's hard being human when you're minoritized. Understand, it's hard being human when you learn that once you consider just 3/5 of one. See us as heartbeats and not target sheets. And this ain't just about black boys or 200 kidnapped girls or condemning all the police in the world. This is about deconstructing systems of oppression, breaking away from the chains and unshackling our brains and seeing all humans as humane. Turn down for what? This gives us every reason to simply turn up. Let's sacrifice, like unlace our eyelashes, let them flutter to the floor, catch as much as I can in my eyes so that the dirt never gets in yours. Come on now. Is sacrifice that hard, or is it uncomfortable? Is privilege a right, or is it comfortable? Ferguson, Missouri's deconstruction of the myth that we live in a post-racial consensus, so we either work together or remain separate forever. Not a moment, but a movement. How much death does it take before we see life? They've been murdering black folks since Jesus Christ. The Lord said Black Lives Matter. Everybody matters. Not just white bodies matter, but when young white bodies get snatched, everything is used to catch those body snatchers, but not kidnappers of black and brown bodies. It's true. Check 1776, 1812, and 1492. When white bodies leap from rules, remember black and brown bodies fight suicide too. Recognize that darker bodies get abused too, just like white bodies do, but it seems to not matter till it happens to a white body. But anybody that's hurt should have somebody alert. Our body there can assist in the matter. We all matter. When black and brown bodies get hurt, it should hurt white bodies too until those bodies are rescued. All I'm asking is if somebody could remind everybody that nobody is a nobody and that black, brown, and white bodies are all beautiful human bodies. Friends and family, if we were together, I would lead you in the following, where I would say, one heart, one love, one life, one people, one family. One heart, one love, one life, one people, one family. We all are not statistics. Statistics do not define who we are. In fact, our identities defy statistics. Statistics are static in the accomplishment of our beautiful destinies. Tell statistics to get out the way. Statistics, get out the way. Be committed to we, unapologetic for who we are. We are the present, we are the future, driven by love and a passion for life in the human, so solidarity in the human family. It is frustrating when lives are not valued. Therefore, we must never sever our efforts for peace and equality. Friends and family, thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for having me. Thank you for still sending selfies. Thank you for creating space where folks can be brave. If we could put a hand clap or a thumb up for everyone that shared this evening and that spoke up, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing from folks and being in contact. Praj, thank you so much. And I'll hang up for a little bit, but then I'll hang up for a little bit and understand that we started out very sure, and we got so many people still here. Thank you. All right, I will see you all next time.